Hey everybody, Smokey here from UVG. We're going to be going over wicking in this video. I did make a video about this before. Where the hell it went and what happened to it, I'm not sure. I think it was on the old UVG group, the buying group, and I didn't grab it to move it to this group because I deleted it out of my phone because I try to record on my phone is, the biggest I can get it and then the best quality I can get it for y'all to be able to see certain things. So I think I might have deleted it and it didn't get uploaded properly onto this. So we're going to be over wicking in this video. Already got my cotton right here, and I need screwdrivers. Give me 1 second, forgot those. And we're going to need screwdrivers, guys. But first, I heard some news today. Before we do it, I'd like to take a little moment of silence and condolences for Miss Amanda Barron, one of your UVG admins that lost a family member. So we're going to take a moment of silence for that, please. All right. My condolences out to you, Miss Amanda. Hope the days will get better. Been there, I've done it. So, but on back to our video, guys. I do have a cool video that is already up, so we don't have to worry too much about that. I am using a Mutation XV3. You can see that. That's what I'm using today. So pretty nice RDA. I like it. I'm only running dual coils on it because I didn't feel like building 4 of them. I got bored. All right, so let's try to get it out. I guess that's good enough, huh? Just dry it. I just built all this yesterday, and I re-wick usually about every day. So what I'm going to go over here is a few things before we get started here as I'm getting set up. A few things that people have problems with wicking. Okay, there's a way to wick. Now there's many different ways to wick it, but there's certain guidelines that you need to follow when you're wicking, or else you're going to have problems. Your coils and your wicking are go together. If you don't have good coils and your wicking, it ain't going to help you any. And if you ain't got good wicking, your coils ain't going to help you too much. If you remember back from our coil video here, you want your coils to heat up evenly at the same time, so you're on a dual coil or quad coil. Anytime you're running more than one coil, you want all of them lighting up at the same time. You also want all of them going from the middle out. You don't want them starting from out and going. You want them from the middle out. This vapes it evenly throughout the cotton as you're soaking up your juice. So, with that being said, we're going to go ahead and get started here. Now, one problem that I've noticed people are having is a burnt taste even with their cotton drenched. Okay, that can be from a few different things. But what it's mainly saying is you need to put new cotton in there. Now, if you're getting it from brand new cotton, then you ain't wicking it right. Now, I'm going to go ahead and explain to you why if you have old cotton in there that can be, a week old or something, that you might not be getting a good hit off of it and getting a burnt taste. Your cotton sits in here and it goes through your coils and it soaks up the juice that you drip onto it from the well. And then it soaks into underneath the coil, inside of the coil, and then whenever you hit the button, then that's where your vape comes from, is the cotton inside the coil, not the cotton that's down here. This all down here is just for soaking up your juice. That's all it's really for. Okay? So with that, after a certain period of time, the cotton, like anything else, can lose its ability really to suck up that good. I mean, it's cotton. I mean, it's not like an everlasting gobstopper. You're gonna have to replace it at some point. I replace my cotton at least minimum once every 2 days, and I go ahead and recoil while I'm doing it as well. Now, for those that I'm not trying to be mean, I'm not trying to be disrespectful, I'm not trying to be any of this. But those that can't afford it, that don't have a good job, or maybe you're going to school and you don't have a job, then you ain't got the money to just shell out for cotton and wires. Often is like I build mine. I go through a lot of wire and a lot of cotton. For those that just can't afford to do that, or you just plain simple just don't want to do that. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that either. So the ones that just plainly simple don't want to do it or just can't afford it, again, not trying to be, you know, mean or anything, just stating a fact. I would go 5 days, 6 days maximum. Now you get some people in here that, oh, I went, you know, 10 weeks on the same coils and cotton. Well, then by God, you must be vaping some flavorless juice that just don't taste good to begin with. Because I mean, or you don't vape that often. I vape about 15 milliliters a day, easily 15 milliliters a day, and I go through, you know, after, if I leave it on there for about 3 days, the flavor just starts losing its flavor. You know, the juice just doesn't taste right. It doesn't taste good as it used to. And I like flavor. I like a flavorful juice. So, you know, put extra flavoring in the juice. You know what I'm saying? That's how much I like the flavoring of it. Alright, so, well, we already got the build on here. This build was built yesterday, and I'm not going to replace the build yet if I did, because, like, literally, I mean, they're not even, you know, they're still silver. I mean, they haven't been hit that much. I built them before I went to bed last night, and I'm just waking up coming into work today, so they probably got less than 4 hours worth of vaping on them, you know, so I'm not even going to bother with that. If I replace the coils, I'll replace them tomorrow. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and grab your cotton, and as you see, this is on 3.0 millimeter screwdriver, so we got some decent size holes. Now this is Koshindu, some shit like that, something like that. It's close enough. Is what kind of cotton this is. Okay, it's organic cotton. It's good shit. You know, it's cheap. I get a bill baggie of it for $1.79 at my local vape shop. So if you use any kind of this organic cotton, I'm gonna tell you what works for me. This is where personal opinions start coming into play. So don't do as I do. Just, you know, take my opinion into hand about what you want to do. As you can see, this is the same cotton, but you can see they look different. Why do they look different? Because the way I deal with it is we're going to take one sheet of cotton here. Oh, I'm running out of cotton. And if you look on this cotton, you see that one side, that both the sides are real smooth. You see how smooth those sides are? And they're not really cottony, is where if you take this one, which I'm already using, it's not real smooth, it's all cottony. I guess that's a good way to say it. Cottony. So, and I don't know what it is, me personally, if I use these outer layers like this, it messes with the flavor of my juice for some reason. It might just be me, and this might be a mental thing or something like that, but it messes with my flavors of my juice. Not by a lot, but by some. And, you know, I like my juices to be what they're supposed to be. I don't want them fading off somewhere else. So we're going to be using this cotton. But what I want to show you is what I do whenever I get a fresh sheet of cotton here, is I very carefully just pull off that very, very top layer. With leaving all the cotton there, just pulling off that top layer just like that. Because I don't want none of this in my builds. So just pull it off like that. Now you see how smooth that is and pretty? But look at that, that's the cotton. That's what you want. And I mean, even once you do this, you can feel it. It's got more strength to it. I don't know what it's, you know, if that's just the packaging from pressing down on it or what. And then I'll go on the back side. I ain't gonna do it, but I'm gonna go on the back side and take the back one off as well, which leaves you with good fluffy cotton. And everybody likes fluffiness. That's why ladies love me, because I'm fluffy. Okay, but people love good fluffy cotton, especially me. I love good fluffy cotton. So that's the first thing that, you know, needs to be done if you are so entitled to do that. And, you know, try it. If, you know, like I said, it's personal opinion. Give it a try. See if you like it. If you don't, I mean, people, oh, you're wasting cotton. Cotton's cheap. So, alright, this right here, I'm going to probably have to waste some cotton here. This one's a bit too big for what I wanted to use. But I think I can probably just break it in half and probably have, you know, I know it sounds like I'm getting nitty gritty here, but I can probably break this in half and have enough cotton. Now, I don't use a whole bunch of cotton, so see we got this broken half. We're going to spread it out just a little bit like that, you know, make it a little bit bigger. You know, spread out the cotton some. And I'm just going to take it and I'm going to break it about right in half. So what we did here, if I get you a brand new sheet out, what we did here was I sliced it down this way, then I cut it in half. Okay, and this is for just a basic, you know, 5 wrap 22 gauge. So just slice it straight down and then cut it in half. So I'm only going to use this top half for one coil, this bottom half for another coil, is what I'm going to do. Now once you get your cotton, I like spreading it out a little bit. Just kind of, you know, stretching it some like this. Not breaking it, but just, you know, get a little stretch. Then you want to kind of roll it a little bit, just to kind of get it into a little cone motion. So now we're a little circle like that. And when you place it in your hand, you're going to figure out, do you want to go this way or this way? You can't sit here and do this because you're going to be pointless. So we're going to go up. And it's going to slowly, well, not really slowly, it's going to make it into a ball. Now, I don't like all these end pieces. Y'all can chop them off, and I would, but I'm kind of in a rush here because I'm already 11 minutes into this video. Okay. So when you get your cotton in there, go ahead and take a look. Good coffee, damn. When you get your cotton into the hole, you don't want it to be loose. You don't want to be able to just, you know, easily let it fall out of the hole. But you don't want it to be tight. You want it to be a good firmness when you move it. As you can see when you move it, how it's picking up this side and expanding it out on the side, so that we're going small, so it's expanding it out, so it's like pushing it through like you're holding a ferret and you go down its belly. I got ferrets, that's why I said that. So you want to make sure it's good, not firm, not tight. Now I keep mine raveled up a good bit. You know, unravel it a little bit, but not too much. Now that's how you can also do it, is tighten it up, makes it easier to move. Go in the opposite way, make it harder to move. So you want a good firmness, not too much, not too little. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take a little screwdriver, a little flathead here is how I do mine. Then we're going to push it in. Now this is where your big personal preference comes in. Some people like over and under. Some people like just enough cotton to dab into the juice well without, you know, without having cotton everywhere. You know, everybody's different. I understand that. I feel you. Everyone's different. I'm sorry my phone just went off, but I'm just a popular guy, I guess. Okay, now we got this done. Now you see me shaking left and right like that. What I'm doing, and here's a big thing that you got to watch out for, is getting that cotton out from underneath the coil. Sorry, magnet. Sorry. Damn magnet. Hold on. Okay. You want to get that cotton from out underneath that coil, because when airflow goes over the coil, you produce more vapor. More vapor usually means more flavor. So you want to push it out to the sides of the coil and make sure it's not suffocating that coil from underneath. Okay, that's one thing that we really want to watch out for. Is that's the wrong piece. I'm gonna say that's a big old piece. Is we don't want to suffocate the coil, because if you suffocate the coil, you just lost your airflow. If you lose your airflow, you're gonna have bad tasting juice. You're gonna have too much restriction. And it's not going to taste right. It's not going to be right. So we don't want that. Then we're going to do the same thing on this side over here. And we're just going to push it down in here. And again, we're going to push it off to the side, just to make damn sure that our coils can breathe. We want our coils to be able to breathe very well. Now, the way you set this up is completely up to you. If you want to go over, under, if you want to go, you know, not a lot of cotton, or if you want to just drench it in cotton, that's completely and totally up to you. Now, what I look for when I build mine is at the very top of the coil, I want to be able to see inside that coil a little bit. That means I'm not tight, but I'm not too loose on there. So now that we have, oh, here's the bottle. Now that we have that on there, our cotton's looking all pretty. So now, well, that's hanging out a little bit. I don't like it hanging out. Just push it in the juice well. There we go. Now we're going to go ahead and soak it up. Now remember those holes that we made underneath our coils? That's going to serve a wonderful purpose right here. So, you know, when you first start it, don't drench the coils. Just paint them like a paintbrush. That's all you got to do. Just paint them. And then go underneath that coil with your dripper. And just squirt a little liquid into that hole. And just squirt a little juice in there too. See, so those holes came in handy for this right here. And we're just going to paint over a little bit more. Sorry about the noise. I'm a popular person if you can't tell. Okay. So now we got finished. I can go ahead and put my backing back on, I guess. Voila. a beautifully wicked cotton. There you go. Stay safe and vape on, my friends.